Welcome. Bienvenidos. These are.
Alright, I'm in the laundromat, the clothes to dry. Put it for 51 minutes. So I figured I'll talk a little bit about that grounding. I haven't did my exercise yet. I figured you wash clothes, go work out, jump in the shower, chill. So anyways, grounding, I heard of hugging trees and walking barefooted. I liked it, but I didn't really understand. And the whole premise of it, I forgot the guy's name, but he figured some shit out. Pretty much aches and pains, blood clots, heart problems, maybe even feeling bad, just a natural bad feeling. All you have to do is ground yourself. The thing is, walking barefooted for 10 minutes, 15, it's not gonna make a big deal. It's more like hours. Like, if you could lay outside for hours, like when you go to the beach. When you go to the beach, you're barefooted, on the sand, in the water. That water's so grounding. So, you just have a good feeling in the beach. That's why everybody loves the beach. You feel good. Once you're out there all day grounding and getting all the energy of the sun, eventually you get too much energy and you just feel drained. But pretty much the way I pictured how the grounding works is it removes all that built up energy, and then it fills your blood cells up. So in other words, when your blood cells are losing electricity, it starts to steal it from other blood cells, and eventually they lose electricity and they bind. Once they bind, then that's how you get blood clots, and the blood gets thicker and thicker. And you have heart problems, aches and pain, and the body can't heal itself because it can't send the proper oxygen and all that good stuff. I mean, I am no professional. This is me researching and testing it out. And so as it's removing all that built up energy, it's feeding your cells, the blood gets to flow much smoother. It has to do with something with inflammation. So it starts to relieve inflammation. So guess what? I tested it out. Now, you have to do your research, because the main guy that spoke about it said a lot of people are grounding their bed, but they're not putting a resistor in the bed. So that means if you're vacuuming and that vacuum somehow has a short, and then you touch the bed, you're gonna get shocked. So I was thinking, I just unplug it if I'm gonna be doing anything electrical. If I got my phone in my hand and it's plugged in, then I unplug the ground. But this is how easy it is. In your house, you have an outlet. Actually, okay. So that is the ground. You get an extension cord. You bend the two prongs that go here, or cut them off, and just save the one that goes there. Okay. So once you have that wire, cut the other end. You strip it, and you leave the bare wire. And what I did to test it out was I had some aluminum tape, and I put it in one loop around one of my sofas cushion. I slept in that bad boy. So then I connected the copper wires to the aluminum that was wrapped around the cushion, plugged that bad boy up, and later on that night I slept on it and realized that my heels I don't have heel problems, but I feel them. I feel like a little bit of pain. I realized that, shit, my heels felt good. So then I went and proceeded and tested out in my bed. And in my bed, I did the same thing. I wrapped around a loop of aluminum tape. But this time I ran a ground wire outside and ran it up to the room, connected it to the bed. And the results were amazing. So it ain't gonna cost you almost nothing to do this. if you're gonna have anything electrical near this grounded spot, unplug the ground. Not to mention, you have to test the ground out. The ground, they have a little tool that you plug in there. I think it's like $7. You plug it up in that bad boy, and it tell you if you got a cross line, neutral, whatever. It'll tell you. If so, look for another plug. Or get an electrician and fix it. Or if you're close to me, I'll hook it up. But it eventually broke. The tape broke, and after 3 days, certain symptoms started coming back. So I put it back together, and sure enough, you just get this overwhelming good feeling. Like, I feel good. So if you have aches and pains, I even heard it helps for snoring. If you have heart problems, numbness, try it out. There's the stuff I researched, I tested out, and that's why I can talk about it. But I ain't no professional, so do your own research. But it's so important. Now, my RV, I'm contemplating how I'm gonna do this, but most likely either just plug into the ground of the RV itself and then connect the RV chassis when I park to the ground. So just gotta test it out. I'll post it in the video if I do it. And if you have any questions, search me up. And if you got my number, give me a holler. Peace. How long did I talk? Okay, I still got 44 minutes. Let me pause this. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I should look for the guy that spoke about it so you guys can research it. But what he did was, he was working back in the day running ground for the telephone poles. He was working for the cable company, antenna company, whatever. And, you know, he was on the ground, whatever. Years passed by, and he remembers he was like in a indigenous person's tent, and when the person's son or daughter came in, they realized, he heard the mom tell the son, "Oh, take off those shoes, you know those things are gonna make you sick." And then, you know, I'm paraphrasing how I remember it. And he remembers thinking like, sick? The heck? Am I wearing shoes? Then, I guess years later, he lived in a place where it was a bus stop right in front of his house. And he remembers seeing all these people coming out of the bus with white gym shoes. And he was thinking, man, must have been a special on white gym shoes. So these thoughts came in his mind one day, and he was like, wait a minute. If everything needs to be grounded to discharge and to keep it safe, why aren't we grounded? So he started looking it up, trying to find more information. So since he was a Alright, my memory ran out, so I had no choice but to delete some videos. Okay, so last I remember was saying that he was known, that because he was a professional grounding, he decided to ground his bed, so he could ground himself. And so he grounded his bed. I'm not sure how he did it. I want to say he might have got like a mesh, like a screen, like a metal screen mesh, like for the patio screen door. And probably grounded that, put the one cover over the bed and slept on top of it, I'm guessing. Because it'll go through that thin layer of bed sheet. And to his surprise, you know, he felt really good the next day. He slept all the night through, the whole night through. And the more he slept on it, the more he started feeling better and better and better. And so he went to a doctor and mentioned it about it. They told him, oh, you know what? If what you're saying is true, somebody would have figured it out by now. Somebody smart, I guess, you know, how they think. So the doctor thought it was a placebo effect. He ended up calling one of his buddies that's been having back pains for years. And got a hold of him, gave him a bag with instructions how to ground his bed, told him to do this, And let me know, what you think about it. I said like a week later, I don't know, 2 weeks. He ran into his buddy in the store. And his buddy was like trying to hide out. And he called him out. He goes, man, I'm actually hiding out from you because I don't know what is it about that stuff that you gave me that I put in my bed, but I slept the whole night, and the more I slept on it, the more the back pains went away. Eventually, he tested it on 66 people, or 66 people did it. Even in a hotel ended up grounding their bed, and everybody that would rent that room, whenever they came back, they specifically asked for that room because they felt good. So the placebo effect, out the window. And I was explaining it better, but it didn't warn me when the memory ran out, so I don't know what I said. I don't know if I'm repeating myself. But the point of the story is, oh, you know what? Ah, man, I almost had his name. Anyways, I'll post it. I know he looks like the guy, what's his name? From a TV show where it's like the guy's hiding in the fence, Home Matters, I think. He played the role of Santa Claus. Kind of looks like his ass. Anyways, like I said, this thing is nickels to pennies for medicine and anything else you're gonna try. Because I have other techniques too that I've researched. You guys ain't ready for that shit. That'll be later. And some of y'all already know. But if you have any questions how to do this, I will be more precise if you get a hold of me somehow. Just even if you won't have any issues, if you have the aluminum tape and an extension cord and a good outlet in your house, plug that bad boy up and sleep in it. I'm curious to see if somebody that thinks they're healthy, because I think everybody's sick. We're eating messed up food, messed up water. I don't know if I talked about the distilled water, but I'll mention that in another video. About 13 more minutes left on my dryer. Yeah, so grounding is to me is important. Maybe shoes were invented specifically to disconnect us from the earth. I don't know. Nowadays, I feel like some people know certain secrets and they purposely do things so that we are disconnected from reality. Well, anyways, peace.